Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. I'm going to explain why this looks so weird over here in a second. I hope you guys all enjoy this short episode of CSGO News. As always, let's get right into it. And first off today, guys, in CSGO News, we have E-League Season 2 North American Closed Qualifiers going on, which started yesterday for the 16 teams over there. But we also have E-League 17-year-old age requirement, a very weird age requirement, as many of you guys know, affecting now two teams, not just TSM's Twist, but now Selfless Gaming's very own Caboose, who are both only 16 years old and will be replaced for the qualifier and the entire event if their teams do manage to qualify. It'll be interesting to see, though, if you guys do not know, E-League Season 2 will not start till late October, so over a month away from now. It'll be very interesting to see if either of these two teams, either Selfless or TSM, do manage to qualify. If Twist or Caboose have birthdays before then, how those rules will apply, if they'll be able to play with their teams for the actual E-League Season 2. So if you guys do not know, it'll be DaZed who will be standing in for TSM, and also former Splice member Jason R, who will be standing in for Caboose and Selfless Gaming. As it was TSM, though, just last night between these two matchups, in their best of 3, TSM versus Selfless, it was TSM who won in map number 3, which went all the way down to 16-14 final map points. So a very close series between these two teams, and yes, two teams who have very young players who are being stood in for right now. And then in some OpTic CSGO news, guys, yesterday they released a Vision episode. If you guys don't follow the Vision series, I recommend it to all of you guys. Very fun to see it inside the OpTic organization. We did have Hexter and Mixwell come out and finally explain their decision of why they first kicked Stanislaw, then took that decision back and actually decided to kick Daps off their roster instead. Now let me first clarify, guys, they are still looking for a role for Daps to play in the organization and on the team. If you guys do not know Hector, the owner of the organization OpTic Gaming, or a partial owner, he actually has a very unique business model where he tries to retain friendship over business. A model that I do enjoy, unless you like winning and you're a diehard fan, a really unique model. So if you guys are not an OpTic fan, look into the organization, look into their videos, and especially the Vision series. It's very fun to watch. So they finally came out. It was both Hector and Mixwell, and they explained to all of us why they first off decided to kick Stanislaw, and then eventually came back and kicked Daps instead. Now the reason was, as many of you guys know, they added Tark not too long ago from CLG, and apparently Tark took over their in-game leading roles and pretty much all of the in-game strats for the team. And so apparently what Mixwell was saying is that Stanislaw and his playstyle agreed more with Tark's playstyle than did Daps. So that's why they made Daps the inactive player, and they reverted that decision. So he agrees better with the team than Daps did. So they are still currently looking for a role for Daps to play. He is not out of OpTic as of right now. So please look into that, guys. A very interesting decision made. And then some very exciting CSGO news for a lot of you guys who are DaZed fans out there. We have the return of DaZed to the professional CSGO scene, but it will not be as a player. Of course, many of you guys know he received a ban, a permanent ban, a lifetime ban, apparently, as he's seen no response from Valve as of right now from his letter. They reached out to them quite some time ago. He will be an analyst on the desk for North America's ESL Pro League both today and tomorrow. I really do encourage you guys, not only because ESL Pro League has been amazing as of late to watch, but I really am curious to see how he does, because we've had people like Richard Lewis say that he has a lot of skill on the analyst desk. Now I'd much rather see him trying to cast and be on the analyst desk at the same time, but it's going to be really cool to see what kind of skill, what kind of actual side points he brings to this decision. So I'm really curious to see how well he does, and hopefully you guys can all tune in and see how DaZed does on the analyst desk. And in kind of funny news, guys, we had CLG and Energy last night in their 2-map series, and coincidentally enough, it was Team CLG who actually had the first ever power outage during this ESL Pro League, as their entire house apparently lost power. And you guys will see right now in the video clip where the commentators didn't know what all was going on. And yes, CLG actually went on to lose both maps 16-8 to Team Energy. You could say kind of an upset there over North American ESL Pro League, but kind of funny story here, as we've never seen a power outage as of right now in ESL Pro League. So here's the first ever house power outage.
So just gone straight by, but this could work in their favor. Hazed, what is he doing?
I don't think he moves his mouse at all. I think he's been in that position for his entire walk. Maybe he's got a mouse problem. Maybe
This is the most ridiculous thing that we have seen. If you are just joining us, CLG's house internet has exploded, which is what we're currently waiting for. So once the NA interwebs manages to fix itself, we will resume.
And we also saw another large backban hit just yesterday and this past week as well. We've announced a few of these in the past, but those were generally falsely triggered by, legal programs that people could actually use. This one apparently, guys, was through multiple allegedly cheat-aiding websites, which apparently were things you were not supposed to be using. So pretty obvious there, but really kind of cool here, as we've seen these past few weeks. Valve's been getting a lot of hate because of their in-game updates, such as gun sounds and things that really don't, have any worth to people or players that we haven't really responded nicely to. But we can't argue these past few months, not only with their pursuit of the gambling scene, but now also the cheaters has been pretty impressive these past 2 months. So accordingly to a lot of sources yesterday, apparently over 11,000 accounts were back banned, which apparently, yes, means 11,000 accounts, all of their skins are now in limbo and all frozen. So kind of cool story there, guys. This back ban wave hit yesterday, and it was not in a misinformed or falsely triggered back ban. This was an actual back ban, and there have been a lot of these this past month. I believe as of right now, the past 30 days, they've been averaging at least 4,000 back bans every single day, which is really insane to think about. So a lot of skins are now frozen. Maybe my knives will be worth more. Probably not. And last today's CSGO news, guys, I'm going to give you all my predictions out of the group stages for Dreamhack Bucharest, which does start this weekend. It actually starts tomorrow. So I'll be thinking about, I'm going to give you guys all my predictions really quick for these 8 teams competing. If you guys don't want to hear that, feel free to skip forward. Now, like I said, those 8 teams competing, 7 of these 8 teams actually competed this past weekend against each other at the Starlight Invitational Season 2 with a lot of upsets. Besides Gambit Gaming, they're not here this weekend. Not really a big deal there. So for short group predictions, guys, out of Group A, I will be choosing Virtus Pro and Heroic. Virtus Pro has had a lot of flukes this past weekend in ESL Pro League as well as in Starlight Invitational, getting dead last there. I think they'll come back stronger than ever and hopefully win at least a game and at least get out of group stages this weekend. I also will take Heroic as my somewhat upset team. The rest of Group A besides Virtus Pro is kind of close, so Heroic will be my second team out of there. For Group B, guys, I'll be taking both Cloud9 and Dignitas because of their past performances, not only in ESL Pro League, mainly for Cloud9, but also this past weekend at Starlight Invitational. These teams, Cloud9 and Dignitas, placed 3rd and 4th, so I think they're on a roll. Although it is going to be a LAN event, Cloud9, people think that all of a sudden Cloud9 can't play LAN events. I do highly doubt that. I think they can play just fine, as many of these other teams hopefully will prove this weekend. So I think it's going to be a great close competition this weekend for Dreamhack. Hopefully going to be a great event just like Starlighter was. And those are my predictions, guys. Virtus Pro, Heroic, Cloud9, Dignitas. Hopefully going to be a close tournament no matter what. And we are back, guys. Hopefully I'm going to fix my phone this weekend. That's why you can tell this. I was going to explain this, why it's kind of a foggy, white, shiny, bright light. I broke my phone. If you guys didn't see my short YouTube stream, I'm trying to figure out how to get back into YouTube streaming. I cracked my phone. I mean, I shattered this thing. I wish I could show you guys. The problem is, though, I record with my phone, so I'm going to have to pay probably over $100 to fix it, which really sucks, but it's okay. It's worth it for all of you guys. So that's how I broke my phone. That's why it looks so weird, but really excited, guys. We are back with hopefully shorter episodes of CSGO News. I think I rallied off all those news stories somewhat fast because I was able to kind of concentrate and actually focus on the scripts and get everything memorized. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's episode of CSGO News. I tried my best to conclude it all into a small, compact video like a lot of you guys have been wanting recently. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. I will see you guys on a couple days in another episode of CSGO News. My name is Jake. Remember, I like you. Goodbye!